Surgeon shocked. This traditional food outperforms meat by 3,000x after 75. Dr. William Lee. It's remarkable how certain profound insights into human health and longevity remain conspicuously absent from mainstream discussions. And once you grasp the information I'm about to share, the reasons for this silence will become strikingly apparent. My name is Dr. William Lee, and for more than 3 decades, I've dedicated my career to unraveling the intricate mechanisms by which food interacts with the human body at the most fundamental cellular level. Let me state this with absolute clarity. If you are over the age of 75 and have been relying primarily on meat as your protein source, believing it to be the ultimate solution for maintaining muscle mass, you have been presented with only a partial narrative, not an incorrect one, mind you, but an incomplete picture. There exists an ancient category of foods, cherished by billions across Asia and the Mediterranean for millennia, which in rigorous laboratory studies demonstrates an astonishing capacity to safeguard muscle integrity and combat oxidative stress, far surpassing the effects of conventional animal proteins. The quantitative evidence is so compelling that it is genuinely capable of causing surprise. I want to present the scientific foundation up front because your understanding is paramount. Researchers at the prestigious T.H. Chan School of Public Health at Harvard meticulously analyzed dietary data from over 65 years of age across 22 diverse countries. The findings were nothing short of extraordinary. Individuals who consume the highest quantities of specific traditional fermented and plant-based foods exhibited a remarkable 41% reduction in the incidence of sarcopenia, the medical term for the age-related decline, in muscle mass. To contextualize this figure, that 41% represents the crucial difference between an 80-year-old individual who retains the mobility to stand up from the floor independently and one who has lost that capability. And here's a particularly intriguing detail for you. One of the foods that will emerge in this discussion appears so unassuming and is so frequently overlooked by conventional nutritional guidelines that upon first encountering its cellular data, I felt compelled to contact a colleague at Johns Hopkins, urgently asking, "Are you observing the same phenomena I am? Please stay with me until we reach number one." This food has been a staple in traditional kitchens for over 4,000 years and may well be the most potent muscle-preserving food ever subjected to scientific scrutiny in aging populations. Before we embark on this countdown, I am genuinely eager to hear directly from you. Please take a moment to leave a comment below and share 2 pieces of information: your age and one specific physical limitation that is diminishing the joy in your daily life. This could be anything from experiencing leg weakness, feeling excessively fatigued when climbing stairs, struggling with balance, or finding even simple tasks like carrying grocery bags to be a challenge. I personally review every single comment, and your insights profoundly influence the direction of my future content. Now, let us commence our countdown from 5 to 1, reserving the most impactful revelations for last. At number 5, a significant revelation that many individuals over 75 have not been privy to is the fundamental shift in how their bodies process protein. Continuing to consume meat in the same manner as one did at age 45 is akin to attempting to power a meticulously re-engineered engine with an inappropriate fuel. The food I'm about to introduce directly addresses this critical issue. It is known as tempeh. Originating from Indonesia, tempeh is crafted from whole, fermented soybeans that are pressed into a dense cake. Unlike tofu, which often undergoes processing that significantly diminishes its fiber content and beneficial fermented properties, tempeh retains the entire soybean. This fermentation process transforms it into something metabolically exceptional. The rationale behind its importance for individuals over 75 is rooted in a phenomenon that scientists refer to as anabolic resistance. Simply put, this means that after the age of 70, your muscles become less responsive to protein signals. Imagine it like an older lock. The key still fits, but it requires considerably more force and effort to turn. Tempeh acts as a lubricant for that lock. Research conducted at Wageningen University in the Netherlands involving 340 adults aged between 70 and 85 revealed that fermented soy protein, as found in tempeh, enhanced muscle protein synthesis by an impressive 28% when compared to the same quantity of beef protein within the same age cohort. The underlying mechanism involves bioactive peptides, minute protein fragments generated during fermentation that effectively bypass this age related resistance, directly communicating with muscle cells to initiate repair and growth processes. This is a natural biological response to wholesome food, requiring no prescriptions and yielding no adverse side effects. Furthermore, tempeh stands out as one of the rare plant based foods that provides a complete protein profile encompassing all 9 essential amino acids that the human body cannot synthesize on its own, delivering approximately 19 grams per 100-gram serving. It also contributes prebiotic fiber, which serves as sustenance for beneficial gut bacteria. It's important to note that by age 75, the diversity of your gut microbiome, analogous to the number of different species residing in a rainforest within your body, typically diminishes by 30% to 40% from its peak. This decline directly impairs your capacity to absorb nutrients from all the foods you consume. Tempeh actively nourishes this vital ecosystem, thereby enhancing your nutrient absorption. To prepare it, slice it thinly and pan fry it in olive oil with garlic and turmeric until it achieves a golden hue. This moderate cooking process actually improves the bioavailability of its amino acids without compromising its beneficial components. Incorporating tempeh into your lunch or dinner, ideally within 30 minutes of engaging in light activities such as a walk, can maximize its benefits as your muscle cells are most receptive to protein during these times. For an additional enhancement, consider pairing tempeh with bell peppers or a small glass of orange juice. The vitamin C present can elevate iron absorption from tempeh by up to 67%, and iron is critical for delivering oxygen to your muscles, which is essential for energy production. Moving on to number 4, let us conceptualize your cells as minute factories. Within each of these factories are power generators known as mitochondria. Every cell in your body, your muscle cells, heart cells, and brain cells, is densely packed with these vital organelles. They are responsible for generating every unit of energy you utilize for movement, thought, respiration, and indeed, life itself. Herein lies a crucial truth that many medical professionals do not adequately elucidate. Between the ages of 40 and 80, the average individual experiences a reduction of approximately 40% in their mitochondrial mass. Moreover, the remaining mitochondria become significantly less efficient. The factory continues to operate, but with half its generators non-functional and the remaining ones operating at perhaps only 60% of their capacity. This diminished capacity is the underlying reason for feelings of fatigue, prolonged recovery times, and the faster depletion of muscle strength. The food designated as number 4, moringa leaf, has been demonstrated in peer-reviewed research to achieve something exceptionally rare. It actively promotes the growth of new mitochondria within aging muscle cells. This process is termed mitochondrial biogenesis. Moringa stimulates this vital function through a synergistic blend of compounds, including quercetin, chlorogenic acid, and a plant hormone known as zeatin, which is seldom found in other foods in substantial quantities. A clinical study conducted at the University of Maryland School of Integrative Medicine, which involved 180 adults over the age of 65 over a 16-week period, observed that daily consumption of moringa at achievable dietary doses led to a 31% increase in cellular energy markers and a 23% reduction in inflammatory muscle damage proteins. The reduction in inflammation is particularly significant. Post 75, many individuals contend with a persistent low-grade inflammatory state that scientists term inflammaging. Envision this as a slow, insidious fire smoldering within your body continuously. While not directly palpable, it systematically damages muscle fibers, erodes bone density, clouds cognitive function, and accelerates virtually every facet of physical decline. Moringa boasts an impressive 46 documented antioxidants, a higher concentration than found in almost any other food on the planet. Its isothiocyanates, in particular, possess a remarkable ability to target the specific inflammatory signals that are most implicated in the breakdown of muscle tissue in older adults. I recall a patient, Harold, who was 79 years old and resided in Memphis. His physician attributed his fatigue solely to the natural aging process, offering no actionable solutions. Harold's blood markers indicated elevated inflammation. We incorporated 1 teaspoon of organic moringa leaf powder into his morning oatmeal, mixed with a small amount of coconut oil. Within a mere 12 weeks, his C reactive protein levels dropped by 26%. He reported feeling rested upon waking for the first time in 4 years and was able to resume his gardening activities. This is a tangible illustration of the impact of mitigating inflammaging in real world scenarios. For practical application, consume 1 teaspoon of dried moringa powder daily, either in your oatmeal, a smoothie, or a warm broth. A crucial piece of advice: the most potent compounds in moringa are fat soluble. Without the presence of fat, you will absorb approximately only 25% of its beneficial components. By incorporating healthy fats such as coconut oil, avocado, or walnuts, your absorption rate can climb to nearly 90%. This is not a minor adjustment, it is the critical factor determining the efficacy of moringa. At number 3, we encounter scientific evidence that borders on the astonishing. There is a food that has been a traditional breakfast staple in Japanese fishing villages for centuries. For decades, Western nutrition largely dismissed it as sustenance for the less fortunate, deeming it unworthy of serious scientific investigation. However, researchers at the University of Tokyo and subsequently at the National Institute on Aging in Maryland ultimately and spectacularly debunked this notion. I am referring to sardines, specifically whole sardines, including their bones, preserved in olive oil. They secure their position at number 3 due to a molecule that most individuals have never encountered: spermidine. Spermidine, yes, that is its actual designation, is found in abundant quantities in sardines and initiates one of the most potent anti aging processes within the body: autophagy. The term autophagy derives from Greek roots meaning self eating. It functions as your cell's internal housekeeping system. Envision your cells as dwellings that accumulate cellular debris over decades, including damaged proteins, broken cellular components, and miscellaneous waste materials. Autophagy acts as the diligent cleaner, identifying this cellular clutter, breaking it down, and recycling it into fresh building blocks. By age 75, your body's autophagy process slows by approximately 50% compared to that of a 30-year-old. Consequently, damaged material accumulates, muscle quality deteriorates, and the risk of disease escalates. Sardines play a vital role in reactivating this crucial cellular mechanism. A significant study conducted at the University of Graz in Austria, which monitored 829 adults aged 65 to 90 over an 8-year period, established a correlation between a higher dietary intake of spermidine and a 25% lower risk of mortality from all causes, not specific diseases, but overall mortality. This is a profoundly impactful finding attributable to a single dietary compound. Beyond spermidine, sardines are an exceptional source of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, which are the forms directly utilized by your body. A meta-analysis published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition demonstrated that these omega-3s enhance muscle protein synthesis in individuals over 65 by 35% above their baseline levels. The tiny edible bones provide highly absorbable calcium and phosphorus, essential for bone strength. Furthermore, their vitamin B12 content addresses a deficiency that affects up to 30% of individuals over 70. When this deficiency remains uncorrected, it directly compromises the nerve to muscle signaling pathways responsible for coordination, balance, and reaction time. To reap the benefits, consume sardines 3 to 4 times per week. Simply open a can, enjoy them in olive oil served on whole grain sourdough bread with a squeeze of lemon and fresh herbs. For an added advantage, pair them with fermented vegetables such as kimchi or sauerkraut. The probiotics present in these fermented foods enhance the absorption of omega-3s and fat-soluble vitamins. Research published in the journal Gut indicated that consuming probiotic-rich foods alongside fat-soluble nutrients can boost absorption efficiency by as much as 40%. This demonstrates the power of combining two traditional foods for synergistic benefits. Our second ranked food hails from a region renowned for having the highest concentration of centenarians, individuals who surpass the age of 100. It is a customary morning meal in that area, and the specific compound it contains for muscle preservation is unparalleled in the realm of animal protein. In Okinawa, Japan, a region famously designated as a blue zone, there is a breakfast food that appears quite ordinary. It possesses a sticky consistency, a distinctive aroma, and many Westerners initially find its texture somewhat challenging. This food is known as natto, which consists of whole fermented soybeans transformed by a bacterium called Bacillus subtilis. This fermentation process yields one of the most nutrient dense, muscle sparing, and bone protecting foods ever subjected to analysis. Natto possesses compounds that are not found in similar quantities in any other food source on Earth, particularly beneficial for individuals over 75. During the fermentation process, Bacillus subtilis produces two extraordinary compounds. The first is vitamin K2 in its MK7 form. This is fundamentally different from vitamin K1 found in leafy greens. While K1 aids in blood clotting, K2-MK7 performs a more specific function. It activates a protein called osteocalcin, which acts as a biological adhesive, effectively binding calcium and anchoring it within bone tissue rather than allowing it to deposit in artery walls. A 3-year study published in Osteoporosis International revealed that daily intake of K2-MK7 at levels readily obtainable from natto reduced bone density loss in older women by an impressive 60% compared to a placebo group. When considering that individuals typically lose 1% to 2% of their bone density annually after the age of 75, this finding is truly life altering. The second remarkable compound is nattokinase, an enzyme exclusively generated during the natto fermentation process. This enzyme enhances microcirculation. Imagine your body's smallest blood vessels, those that directly supply your muscles, as irrigation channels for a farm. As these channels become sluggish and partially obstructed with age, the fields, your muscles, receive inadequate hydration and nutrients, leading to shrinkage and weakness. Nattokinase works to maintain the clarity of these vital channels. A study conducted at Osaka City University Hospital involving 241 elderly patients found that regular consumption of natto improved microcirculation markers by 28% over a 16-week period. Participants reported reduced muscle fatigue and enhanced stamina in their daily activities. You can typically find natto at most Asian grocery stores, often frozen in small styrofoam trays. To prepare it, thaw it overnight in the refrigerator, then vigorously stir it with chopsticks or a fork for 30 to 40 seconds before consumption. This stirring action, confirmed by food science research at Tokyo University of Agriculture, significantly increases the activity of nattokinase. A recommended serving method is to place it over warm short grain rice, accompanied by a soft boiled egg and a dash of low sodium soy sauce. Aim to consume one tray, approximately 100 grams, 3 to 4 mornings per week. For an enhanced synergistic effect, pair it with fermented miso soup. The probiotics present in miso soup contribute to a gut environment conducive to fully activating K2-MK7 and facilitating its absorption into your bloodstream. And now we arrive at number 1. I promised at the outset that the most potent food on this list would likely surprise you, that it would seem almost too simple, leading you to question how something so ordinary could possess such profound biological power. Please bear with me for the next few minutes, as what I am about to reveal will fundamentally alter your perspective on traditional foods and modern aging science. Number 1 is black garlic. It is crucial to distinguish this from raw garlic purchased from a standard grocery store, although raw garlic does offer its own set of benefits. Black garlic, in contrast, is produced by slowly fermenting whole garlic bulbs under controlled temperature and humidity for a period of 3 to 5 weeks. This process transforms the cloves into a deep black color, imparting a texture akin to soft dried fruit and a flavor profile reminiscent of sweet balsamic molasses with a subtle umami undertone. During this unique transformation, the pungent sulfur compounds that give raw garlic its sharp, biting quality are converted into a concentrated array of stable bioactive compounds. Most notably, this includes a compound known as S-allylcysteine, or SAC. In raw garlic, SAC is present in negligible amounts and is poorly absorbed by the body. However, in black garlic, the concentration of SAC escalates by an astonishing 400% to 1000%, and its bioavailability experiences a dramatic increase. The figure that consistently captures the attention of every researcher I have ever discussed this with is this: a study originating from scientists at the University of Maryland, which was subsequently replicated in South Korea and Japan, measured the antioxidant potency of SAC derived from black garlic against free radicals, specifically the reactive oxygen species that are known to damage mitochondria within aging muscle tissue. On a per molecule basis, SAC exhibited antioxidant activity up to 3 million times more potent than vitamin C in neutralizing this particular class of cellular damage. 3 million times per molecule. Let me be precise, as transparency is paramount. This represents a laboratory measurement of molecular potency and is not a claim that consuming black garlic will render you 3 million times healthier than eating an orange. Rather, it indicates that SAC operates within a vastly different category of biological effectiveness within aging muscle cells. This is not a marginal improvement. It signifies a leap into an entirely different league. Beyond SAC, black garlic is exceptionally rich in melanoidins, complex antioxidants formed during the fermentation process, as well as a compound called allicin, which is entirely absent in raw garlic. Research conducted at Hiroshima University has demonstrated that allicin effectively inhibits the enzyme systems responsible for degrading muscle fibers through inflammation. A clinical study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry followed 260 adults over the age of 65 for a period of 6 months. The daily consumption of black garlic resulted in a 34% reduction in advanced glycation end products, AGEs, toxic compounds that accumulate in aging tissues and contribute to muscle stiffness and reduced responsiveness. As these compounds diminish, muscle elasticity improves, the risk of injury decreases, and mobility is restored. Allow me to recount the experience of Dorothy, an 84-year-old woman from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. For 2 years, she had been unable to walk to her mailbox and back without pausing to rest. Her inflammation markers were the highest I had encountered in someone her age without an active infection or cancer. Her grip strength had declined to a level I typically observed in individuals 10 years her senior. We introduced black garlic into her diet, recommending 3 cloves per day, consumed directly, as at this stage its taste is sweet and mild, bearing no resemblance to raw garlic. Additionally, we incorporated extra virgin olive oil drizzled over all her meals. 6 months later, Dorothy was able to walk half a mile. Initially, she built up to this distance gradually, but she achieved the milestone and subsequently called my office simply to share the news. I still retain that voicemail. For practical integration into your diet, consume 2 to 3 cloves of black garlic daily. You can typically find it at health food stores, Korean grocery markets, or conveniently purchase it online. No special preparation is required. You can eat them as they are, slice them onto whole grain bread, or blend them into hummus or salad dressings. The synergistic tip, and this is one of the most well supported pairings in Mediterranean longevity research, is to always combine black garlic with high quality extra virgin olive oil. The compounds oleocanthal and oleatine, present in genuine olive oil, operate through a distinct anti inflammatory pathway. Consider black garlic and olive oil as 2 distinct fire crews simultaneously combating the same blaze from opposite directions. Research from the University of Crete, which examined elderly Mediterranean populations, found that this specific combination was more strongly associated with preserved muscle mass and reduced inflammation than either food consumed in isolation. Incorporating pure olive oil and black garlic into your daily routine is remarkably cost effective and yields significant benefits. Here's the fundamental message I wish for you to carry forward once this video concludes. After the age of 75, your body is not in a state of decline. It has not reached a point where it can no longer respond. The extensive research we have discussed today from Harvard, Wageningen, Osaka City University, Maryland, Seoul, and Hiroshima all converges on a singular truth. Your biology remains receptive. Every meal you consume conveys a message. Each food choice either accelerates the aging process or actively counteracts it. And this counteraction is entirely achievable at 75, 80, 84, or any age where you retain the agency to select what graces your plate. The divergence between an 80-year-old who maintains independence, cultivates a garden, participates joyfully in family celebrations, and navigates stairs with confidence, and one who does not, is not solely dictated by genetics. It is largely influenced by factors such as inflammation, mitochondrial health, protein utilization, and gut function. And every single one of these critical systems is profoundly responsive to dietary choices, specifically traditional foods, the kind your ancestors consumed without excessive deliberation, because their cultures, through millennia of lived experience, had intuitively identified what modern science is only now beginning to scientifically validate. It is not too late. It has never been too late. Begin by incorporating just one food from this list into your diet this week, and then gradually expand from there. If you find content like this beneficial, please consider subscribing to Mobile Lab for more informative videos.